Hello, welcome back. It's February, yay! You know what that means? For the month of February, my plan originally was to make a Valentine's Day inspired dress because I love Valentine's Day and I wanted to make a red dress or a pink dress. I ended up going like a moth drawn to a flame to the bridal section because, like, oh my god, come on, that's such beautiful fabric. And I saw this beautiful mesh fabric. I ended up grabbing this fabric and let me just show you first. Let me just show you because come on, like, it's gorgeous. Okay, where is it? Where is it? All right, so this is the fabric. I mean, what? So I decided in that moment to just scratch the whole Valentine's Day idea and make a midnight inspired dress. Ah, that sounds so cool. I'm gonna make a midnight inspired dress. I'm planning on doing the Dressmaking Amours Noel dress pattern. I'm going to replace the sleeves with ribbon, and I'm going to also cut the skirt by half so it's a shorter skirt. So yeah, that is my plan for February, and I'm super excited to have you here, and let's get started.
Hello everyone, and welcome. I have a cold at the time of editing, so it's gonna sound like I smoke like 50 packs of cigarettes a day. That is not the case. I actually smoke 51 or 52, but don't smoke. It's not fun. I'm gonna start by cutting out my fabric, and there's actually 3 layers to this dress, so I'm gonna have to cut this 3 different ways at 3 different times. And you know, what else has 3 different things in it? The Jonas Brothers. So I thought I would introduce each fabric as a Jonas Brother. So first we have the liner, which is obviously Kevin Jonas, because it's responsible. You know, he got married first. I feel like it is reliable. Moving on, we have the main fabric, which is this like gorgeous purple satin. I would say this is the Nick Jonas of the trio because, you know, Miley Cyrus would definitely write a song about this fabric and I would love it. But it's cute, you know, it's fun, but it's not too like in your face. The third layer is definitely the Shane Gray, the Joe Jonas fabric. I find it to be just like flashy and fun and quirky. Everything that Joe Jonas is. If you can't tell, I'm a Joe stan, or I was when I was like 8. I'm also going to use ribbon for the sleeves, some fusible interfacing for the interior of the dress, the main fabric, and an invisible zipper. Next, I'm going to put on the fusible interfacing onto the main fabric, and I'm actually going to ask you if you think my apartment is haunted. So, you know, start thinking now, prepare your answers.
I like have some of the loudest neighbors above me, and it is bizarre because either this place is haunted or like there's someone upstairs that runs around at like 4 in the morning. And it's like, I don't mind. Like, I mean, I do kind of mind, but it's just kind of like, why? Did you hear it? See, it's just, and like, we can't have dogs in this building, so it's not like it's an animal. It sounded like a cat. Jesus, that cat had to be like giant.
So after ironing on my fusible interfacing, I'm going to start creating the bodice. And so I'm going to pin the mesh fabric onto the satin, and I'm going to sew them together for all my pieces of the bodice. After that, I'm going to measure out some darts, which are going to be on the back panels of the bodice. So this is going to help the bodice fit more snugly on your back. I want to note that as I'm sewing the bodice of the main fabric, I'm also sewing the bodice of the lining. So everything's done twice, basically.
doesn't look terrible. I did it.
After the darts, I'm going to sew the princess seam, which is the front of the bodice. Once the princess seam has been sewn, we're going to take the back panels of the dress that we've put the darts on and combine them to make a big juicy sandwich of a bodice.
This pleases me. It's like I'm reading a newspaper. I'm like, nice.
Once that's done, we're going to have what looks like a bedazzled bat signal and then a not so bedazzled bat signal. In fact, it actually kind of looks like it has like a really freaky face.
I feel like my outfits. Oh, my hip! You heard that crack. My outfit, I have black leggings, white socks, don't look at the bottom of them, and then this blue button down, and I feel like it is giving like every Parent Trap character. So the next step is that I'm going to press every seam in the lining, and sorry, that is my heater, and it is February, so I can't turn it off. There's no thermostat. I live in a very old building. But anyways, more important matters are at hand.
So next, I'm just gonna iron down the seams of the bodices, of the bodies.
I feel like I wanna share one of my hidden talents. I have a few. I'll have to leave some for future videos, but one of them is that I can talk like Toad, but it has to be prompted, and this is like the funniest thing. It's only when like I'm really with my best friends that I can just go rogue, but I'm gonna try and do it now. Wow! Trying to think what else he can say. Like, I know he like sings a lot of songs. He's like, I'm just a
Okay, if you couldn't understand what that was, basically I put the lining on the main fabric and then sewed it together so that the bodices were combined, and then I did a cute little understitch moment. I also want to take this opportunity to quickly promote my behind the scenes video. Basically, in those videos, I get more in depth on like actually how to sew things and why you need them and what I've learned throughout making the dress. So if you're here for like an actual tutorial, I recommend going there.
I could actually be like a wizard in this outfit.
So we're gonna end up with this absolutely stunning bodice, and then it's gonna be the next day, and I'm gonna figure out what to do next.
It's giving kind of grandma-esque, but yeah. Oh my god, that was so like, hello. So I am a little bit unsure of what to do for the straps of the dress, for the sleeves. So I decided to just, you know, fall back on this skill that I'm pretty good at, that I've really worked hard on. It's called procrastination. To procrastinate, procrastinating, I wombo, you wombo, wombology, the study of wombo. Anyways, I decided to just skip straight to the skirt because I feel like this is gonna take up a good amount of time. So yeah, oh my god. Oh my god. This is what Prince had as inspiration when he wrote Purple Rain. I'm just thinking of anything purple now. This is what Sting had for inspiration for his song Fields of Gold, except it should be Fields of Purple. It's like a jellyfish. Okay, God, get your life together.
So I'm gonna iron on the fusible interfacing, and then we're gonna pretend that it's 2019 again. Not because it was literally like pre-COVID, but because we're bringing the Jonas Brothers back. We're releasing the Sucker music video, which iconic. But I'm gonna have to pin and sew my side seams of my skirts on the 3 different fabrics. Also, like, I just thought like the Jonas Brothers coming back, I had this like thought of like, what if they made like another Camp Rock? Like, wouldn't that be amazing? Oh my god, I would lose my mind. So I'm gonna iron each of the side seams on every skirt, and then for the main fabric and the mesh fabric, I'm going to sew 2 straight lines on the waist of each skirt, and then I'm going to carefully gather the fabric. Once I've done that for each skirt, I'm going to pin them individually onto the bodice. So we're gonna have a combined dress at this point, which is very exciting.
So the next step, which is really exciting, is that it's time to sew the dresses together. We're gonna do the lining and the main fabric / tulle separate, but I'm basically going to create the center back seam, and then we're gonna add in the zipper. So I'm gonna start pinning and sewing, and we're almost there.
I'm gonna add in the invisible zipper, which at first is going to look literally like a Smurf's butt crack, but then I'm going to sew it into place and it's going to look infinitely better. I was also very excited that I did the invisible zipper correctly, so here is a clip of me losing my mind.
Yes, I did it! Oh, so proud.
And it's actually now approaching midnight at this point in the video, so I'm going to finish the dress by doing the sleeves and then hemming the skirt.
I always hit that thing, like every video. I feel like it's giving a little bit of Anastasia. I feel like it's giving a little bit of Audrey Hepburn. I think I had to listen to Once Upon a December. I just need to feel it. I have 28 minutes until I have to clock in like the responsible adult that I am. I'm like, have you heard there's a rumor in St. Petersburg? Oh, okay, hot take, but In the Dark of the Night, the 4th song on the soundtrack, AKA Rasputin's song, I remember seeing this on my VHS tape of Anastasia. Oh my god, that song is so good. The part of the party where the shoes come off, Rasputin's song is on, I gotta go. So I have to go to work now, most unfortunately. But it's been real, and I'll see you all in March. Bye.